In the beginning, before the first dawn or shadow, there was only the command, not sound, not form, but pure decree. When the pen wrote the first destinies and the throne was set upon waters unseen, the fabric of existence unfolded under the gaze of divine will, and among those decrees was one so fearsome that even the heavens trembled when it was spoken, "Let there be a fire that knows no equal." A blaze that remembers every act, every defiance, every arrogance. Thus began the birth of the fire. It was not chaos, it was precision. Every ember carried purpose, every spark a witness. The flames did not roar from rebellion, they rose from justice. And so hell was formed, not as a rival to mercy, but as its shadowed reflection, a realm to contain what chose to turn away from the light. From the depths of the unseen, the 7 layers began to take shape. Each was measured by the sins that would fill it: arrogance, denial, greed, deceit, tyranny, mockery, and disbelief. Each layer, colder or hotter, heavier or darker, a mirror to what had been done upon the earth. No angel dared to approach the forming blaze. The fire, still young and unrestrained, reached out like a living creature, eager to consume, to fulfill the purpose for which it had been created. Then came the command, "From this fire, form what I will. Guard it with one who will never disobey." And from the radiance of obedience, Allah created an angel whose duty would never bend, Malik, the keeper of the fire. He was unlike the angels of mercy or revelation. His wings were vast yet still, his face firm yet void of emotion. He had no laughter in his being, no joy in his breath, for his existence was bound to the gravity of divine justice. Malik bowed before his Lord, not out of fear of the fire, but in awe of the one who created it. The command was given to him, "Guard it until the appointed time. None shall enter it but by my word, and none shall escape except by my mercy." From that day onward, Malik stood at the gate, unmoving, eternal. The fire raged, and the angels around it recited glorifications of their Lord to keep their hearts from trembling. For every flame that rose was alive, every spark aware of its place in the grand design. It was then that the unseen world learned. Hell is not a punishment born of cruelty, it is a mercy veiled in justice. It reminds creation of consequence, and it safeguards the purity of choice. The fire was shown to the angels. They saw it once, and they fell upon their knees. Their hearts quaked as they said, "O our Lord, we shall never disobey you." And Allah, exalted beyond all, revealed to them the truth. "This is the end of the path of those who turn away, and this is the protection of those who fear me." The fire burned, but its essence was not rage, it was remembrance. It remembered those who mocked the messengers, those who trampled upon truth, those who forgot the day they would be called to account. In the far reaches of time yet to come, the fire would witness nations rise and fall, prophets sent and denied, tyrants who laughed, and the oppressed who cried in silence. Each injustice, each denial, would echo in its core, waiting for the day it would be called to serve. Malik remained still. He never questioned, never doubted, for he knew that even the fire worshipped, that in its roaring there was tasbih, and in its rage there was obedience. Above, the heavens continued their praise. Below, the earth prepared for its destined inhabitants. And between the two, unseen and forgotten by most, a realm of divine precision waited, patient, silent, complete. This was the fire that would one day speak. "Have you come, O children of Adam, to the place you were warned of?" But on that first day there was no speech, only stillness, only decree, and in that silence a truth eternal was set in motion, that mercy without justice would be incomplete, and justice without mercy would be unbearable. From that balance, the universe was sustained. And from that day, Malik's gaze never turned away from the gate, for it was not merely fire he guarded. It was the fulfillment of Allah's promise, and Allah knows best. Before time measured its first breath, before light found its path through the veil of darkness, the Arsh of Allah, the supreme throne, stood above all creation, surrounded by oceans of light, and legions of angels who knew nothing but obedience. From that throne, every decree unfolded, from the flutter of a leaf to the birth of galaxies. Yet there was one command that resonated through all realms, shaking even the most steadfast hearts of the angels: guard the fire. It was a command heavy with awe, born not from wrath but from divine wisdom. For the fire, newly formed, endless in depth and boundless in heat, needed a keeper unlike any other. Not a warrior, not a messenger, but a sentinel who would neither sleep nor question, who would stand between divine justice and the chaos it contained. And so, by decree of Allah, from the brilliance of light and the essence of obedience, Malik was created. He emerged not with the softness of Gabriel, nor the mercy of Israfil's melody. His wings did not shimmer with color, but with weight, the weight of divine command. His form was radiant yet severe. His eyes knew no laughter, for he was shaped from the element of samt, divine silence. When he first opened his eyes, the fire flared before him. It called with a voice that had no tongue, its roaring like an ocean without end. Flames reached toward him as though testing his resolve. Yet Malik did not move. His wings remained folded, his gaze steady, his heart anchored in remembrance of the one who made him. Then came the command, not in sound, but in essence, echoing from the throne to his soul: O Malik, guard what I have made until the appointed hour. Let no one pass except by my decree. Let no soul escape except by my mercy. And never shall your gaze turn away. Malik bowed his head, his wings spread wide in submission, and he said in a voice that echoed through the unseen, I hear and I obey. The heavens trembled at that obedience. The other angels looked upon him with awe, for they had never seen a being fashioned for such a purpose. Where Jibril was mercy in motion and Israfil was harmony incarnate, Malik was the stillness of justice. The command from the throne continued to unfold. The fire, once wild, began to obey its guardian. Its waves of flame folded inward, its roar softened into a rhythm, like the beating of a living heart. And Malik stood before it, unflinching. It is said that when the angels of mercy first gazed upon the fire, they wept. They asked, O our Lord, for whom is this created? And Allah, Most High, replied, for those who choose my displeasure over my mercy. Then they saw Malik standing guard, never turning his face away, never flinching from its heat. And they said, O Malik, does the fire not harm you? He answered, it was not made to harm me, but to test obedience, as I was made to God, not to feel. Thus, the keeper of the fire became the living symbol of divine balance, a creation without rebellion, standing watch over those who would rebel. Malik's existence was lonely but not sorrowful. He knew no joy, for joy belonged to those who worshipped in light. He knew no pain, for pain was reserved for the punished. He only knew duty, pure, unbroken, absolute. Around him, the angels of punishment moved like shadows of purpose. Their faces reflected neither hate nor cruelty, only precision. Together they maintained the fire, each assigned to gates that would one day welcome those who denied truth. Above, the throne remained in perfect stillness. The decrees continued, the birth of Adam, the spread of life, the writing of destinies. And Malik remained unseen, yet central to the unfolding story of mankind. For even before man was created, the fire awaited him, not out of vengeance, but out of warning. In every generation that would come, the whisper of this command would linger in the air. Fear the fire whose fuel is men and stones. And Malik would still be there, silent, eternal, guarding what most dare not imagine. The angels of the heavens continued their praise, reciting Subhanaka Ya Rabb, glorifying the one who had created mercy and wrath in perfect harmony. And in that divine balance the fire was no longer a terror. It was a sign that choice carries consequence, a sign that justice completes mercy, a sign that obedience is the highest peace. Malik remained at his post, the guardian of a truth most hearts forget, that behind every flame there is wisdom, and behind every command there is mercy. The fire trembled under his watch, but it could not rise without permission. The decree had been sealed by the throne, and Malik had become its keeper forevermore. And so began his watch, endless, unwavering, without speech or rest, until the day when all souls would gather, and the gate would open once more, and Allah knows best. The realm of Jahannam does not sleep. It breathes. It moves like a creature alive with divine decree, endless, weighty, and aware of every soul that nears its gates. Its air is not air, but heat that remembers the scent of arrogance. Its ground is not soil, but flame that takes shape beneath every step of denial. And through that realm of justice, not chaos, walks one whose wings have never trembled, whose eyes have never known pity or rage. He is Malik, the keeper of the fire. No name in creation carries such gravity among the angels of punishment. For though the fire roars, it never dares rise beyond his will. Though billions scream, his face remains as still as the first day he was formed. There are no words in Malik's duty, only silence. And that silence is heavier than thunder. The angels who serve beneath him, beings created for torment, not cruelty, descend in legions. They bear no smiles, no frowns, no emotion. Their wings are darkened by the reflection of flame, their chants rhythmic and eternal. Glory be to Allah, the possessor of might and justice. Each obeys Malik without hesitation. For his silence is not emptiness, it is command. His stillness a decree. He does not shout orders. His gaze alone directs the hosts. In the unseen, silence is a language. And Malik speaks it perfectly. Above the fire's great gates, verses are inscribed in light only the angels can read. Divine reminders of truth, written before time began. They speak of choice, consequence, and the mercy that was once offered to every soul who will enter. Malik stands before those gates, like a mountain of flame and light intertwined. His wings, vast as the horizon, rest against his back, folded in eternal readiness. His face, unchanging, reflects the discipline of divine order. Every scream, every cry, every desperate plea from the condemned rises like smoke. But Malik does not answer. He cannot. For mercy belongs not to him. It belongs to the Lord of all worlds. The people of the fire call to him in despair, "O Malik, let your Lord make an end of us." And he waits, not by choice, but by command, until the time appointed, when he replies with words colder than the flames that surround him. Indeed, you will remain. Quran 43:77. Even these few words are enough to silence the fire itself. For when Malik speaks, the sound carries the weight of eternity. There is a wisdom in his stillness that few comprehend. The angels of mercy, high above in the gardens of light, speak his name with reverence and sorrow. They know that Malik's silence is not cruelty, it is obedience. He guards what mankind was warned of, and in his existence lies the perfect execution of divine balance. To him, centuries are as breaths. He does not count time, for time holds no meaning in a place where every second burns with consequence. The fire never dims, and Malik never blinks. Every flicker of flame, every spark that leaps upward, is in remembrance. Subhanallah, Subhanallah. Even the fire glorifies its creator, though its voice is one of terror to those who denied him. Malik listens not with ears, but with the stillness of purpose. He senses the divine rhythm of punishment and mercy, knows the precise moment when each soul enters or leaves, and witnesses the unfolding of decrees written long before their birth. To see him is to feel the weight of finality, the realization that the world of excuses has ended. Among the angels, there are those who deliver revelation, those who write, those who carry souls, and then there is Malik, who carries the silence of consequence. He is not called to ascend or descend. He does not walk among mankind. His station is singular, his duty eternal, and yet, behind that stillness lies a reminder for all who reflect. Even hell has a guardian. Even punishment is governed. Even wrath submits to order. The fire would consume all if not for Malik's control. The heat would spill into creation, tearing through realms. But by his Lord's will, it remains contained, disciplined, perfect in measure. Thus, Malik's silence is not absence, it is submission. He guards not only the gates, but the meaning of obedience itself. When the day of reckoning comes, and the heavens split open, Malik will not move until commanded. His wings will unfold for the first time since the beginning, his gaze lifting toward the throne, awaiting the final decree. And until that moment, his silence will echo through the depths, a silence that speaks of truth, justice, and the unyielding perfection of divine command. At the edge of that world, between flame and eternity, Malik continues his watch. No sigh escapes him, no thought strays from his task. He is not a symbol of cruelty, but of certainty, that every act, every word, every choice carries weight, that none escape what they themselves have written. And as the fire hums in endless remembrance, Malik stands unmoved, untouched, unbroken. For in the silence of the keeper lies the greatest truth of all, that even in punishment, Allah's command is mercy in disguise, and Allah knows best. Long before man walked the earth, before oceans found their rhythm or stars traced their paths, the angels gathered beneath the throne, countless, radiant, united in remembrance. Among them was one who was not of their kind, yet stood in their ranks by permission, Iblis, born of smokeless fire, once honored for his devotion, his worship reaching heights unseen among the jinn. He had prostrated in places where few had stood, and his name was once spoken among the angels as a model of obedience. But within the core of that smokeless flame lay a seed of pride, silent, unseen, waiting for its hour. Then came the divine decree. Indeed, I am placing upon the earth a Khalifa, Quran 2:30, a creation unlike any before, formed not of fire, nor of light, but of clay, humble and cold to the touch. The angels obeyed the command to bow in honor to the new creation. They saw beyond the dust, into the decree of Allah. But Iblis, whose arrogance had ripened unseen, could not bow. He said, I am better than him. You created me from fire and created him from clay. Quran 7:12. It was not a refusal of command alone, it was the birth of rebellion. And in that instant, every light in the heavens dimmed. The angels trembled, not for fear of themselves, but for the gravity of what they had witnessed. Never before had a command been defied. Never before had creation turned its face away from the Creator. The fire that Malik guarded, the fire that had awaited its purpose since the beginning, stirred. It had been silent for eons, its gates sealed, its flames dormant. But now it awoke, as if sensing that the time for which it had been created had come. The throne decreed, then get down from it, for it is not for you to be arrogant here. Depart, for you are of the disgraced. Quran 7:13. The heavens shook. The angels prostrated again in awe of their Lord. And Iblis fell, not gently, not with sound, but like a star torn from its orbit. His descent ripped through the unseen realms until his form vanished into the pit of divine justice. And there, waiting at the threshold, stood Malik. He did not move, did not speak. His gaze was fixed, his wings still as the flame stirred around him. The fire flared in recognition, not of rage, but of obedience. It knew its first occupant. When Iblis struck the gate, the fire roared, its colors shifting through shades unseen by mortal eyes, black, red, violet, then white-hot brilliance. But Malik remained unmoved. You are its guardian, came the echo of the divine decree. And this is the first of what is written. Malik bowed his head. He did not question, for angels do not wonder why. They only obey who. The flames parted before him, allowing the disgraced one to fall through. There was no struggle, no noise, only the sound of burning truth. Iblis's scream, though filled with pride, echoed with realization. He had fallen not into chaos, but into order, into a place that existed long before his defiance, built for such a moment. Malik stood over the gate as the last flicker of that cursed flame vanished below. Then, for the first time since his creation, the keeper of the fire spoke. The command has been fulfilled. His voice was not thunder, nor whisper, and it was the weight of decree. The angels above heard it and glorified their Lord. The fire calmed, folding back into itself, like a heart beating in submission. And the unseen world learned that day a truth never forgotten, that the fall of one is not the failure of the system, but the perfection of justice. From that moment onward, Iblis would wander the earth, granted respite until the day of judgment, whispering, deceiving, burning from within with envy. But the fire remained his destined home, his final return, the womb that would receive him once his deception ended, and Malik would remain, still as a mountain, watching the gates, knowing that every lie, every act of pride, every soul led astray would one day find its way back through these doors. The heavens resumed their light, the angels their remembrance, but a shadow now lingered across creation, the knowledge of rebellion, and with it, the warning of its consequence. Malik stood in silence, and the fire whispered beneath him. It did not rage, it waited, for hell was patient, its appetite eternal, its precision divine. Above the fire the stars continued to shine, for the balance of mercy and justice had been restored. And in that balance, the command was complete. The first gate closed, and the universe exhaled. For even rebellion serves its place in the design of the Most High. Even arrogance fulfills prophecy. Even the fall of Iblis revealed the majesty of divine perfection, and Malik, the silent guardian, stood as he always had, unshaken, obedient, eternal, and Allah knows best. The unseen world holds many realms, some clothed in light, others hidden behind veils of awe and dread. Among them, there exists one creation whose design none can fully comprehend, Jahannam, the abyss of divine justice, vast beyond imagination and layered in perfect measure, Allah, the All-Wise, revealed in His book. It has 7 gates. For every gate is of them a portion designated, Quran 15:44. Each gate, a door not of metal or stone but of decree and purpose. Each one opens not to chaos but to divine order. And Malik, the appointed keeper, knows every gate, every chamber, every measure of heat that has ever been written. In the silence of his endless watch, Malik moves through the depths, not walking as mortals do, but through command. Where he gazes, creation obeys. His wings stretch across the layers like veils of light folded over flame. Beneath him lies the structure of the fire, not wild, not mindless, but constructed by the hand of power. The 7 gates stand in order, one beneath another, each assigned to a kind of soul, each reflecting the nature of the sin that led to it. Malik has never questioned why. He does not need to. For the truth of his duty is written in every ember that burns, the first gate, Jahannam, the uppermost realm, where the fire is closest to the world of man. It is for those who neglected prayer, who lived heedless though they knew. Its heat is fierce yet not final, for some will leave after purification. Here, hope flickers faintly, a mercy in the distance. Malik oversees its keepers from afar. Their wings are vast, their chants unceasing. Glory be to the one whose justice is mercy concealed. The second gate, Laza. The flame that leaps and devours, reserved for those who mocked truth. Its fire clings to the skin like living wrath. The angels who serve here have faces like storm clouds and voices like thunder. Malik's command ensures not one spark escapes, for every flame knows its boundary. The third gate, Al-Hutama, the crushing fire. Here, arrogance is shattered. The hearts of tyrants are broken under the weight of what they denied. The fire does not merely burn, and it consumes. Every thought of pride becomes fuel. Malik's gaze passes over it, and even the fire bows low, remembering the command that sustains it. The fourth gate, Sa'ir, a blazing windstorm of punishment. It is for those who worshipped their desires, chasing pleasure until it became their lord. The fire here dances like a tempest, yet it does not move without permission. Malik's presence holds it still, reminding even the flames that nothing moves except by the will of Allah. The fifth gate, Sakar, the gate of denial. Its dwellers said, "We were not of those who prayed." Quran 74:43. Here the fire strips away illusions. There is no wealth, no title, no escape. It is the realm of those who rejected faith entirely. Malik's silence here feels heavy, for this is the gate where regret screams loudest. The sixth gate, Al-Jahim, the furnace of leaders who misled others, scholars who hid the truth, tyrants who deceived their nations. Each soul feels the weight of every follower they corrupted. The fire burns not only their bodies, but their legacies, their false words echoing endlessly in the heat. Malik's shadow passes here rarely, for the fire itself enforces the decree. The seventh gate, Al-Hawiyah, the lowest depth, the abyss without end. Its name means the void. It is for the hypocrites, those who claimed faith with their tongues, but concealed disbelief in their hearts. Its flame does not rise, but falls inward, swallowing light, sound, and hope. Here Malik's authority is absolute. No angel enters without his leave. No command is executed without his nod. For this is the heart of Jahannam, the point from which all other fires are fed. Through these 7 gates, the symmetry of divine justice is revealed. Each gate corresponds to a type of sin, and each flame is a reflection of the choices made in the world above. Yet even in this realm, nothing burns without meaning. Every torment is weighed, every scream recorded, every second measured in perfect balance. Malik moves among the keepers, towering angels forged from obedience, their eyes radiant with the remembrance of Allah. Their task is unending, their hearts unshaken. None act from emotion, all act from decree. They recite as they serve. Your punishment, O Lord, is truth, just as your mercy is truth. And Malik's silence answers them, the silence of one who knows what few can comprehend, that hell is not chaos. It is precision, that every gate, every ember, serves a higher purpose. Above the 7 gates, the heavens hum with remembrance. Below them, the fire continues its chant. Between them, Malik stands as the bridge, unshaken, eternal, witnessing the unseen law that governs all creation. In his watch, Malik has learned what no mortal eye has seen, that even punishment worships, that even fire bows, that every cry below rises only to glorify the one above, and so he guards in silence, the 7 gates sealed, the balance perfect, awaiting the day when each will open again by command. For Malik knows what every flame whispers in submission. We burn only because he wills, and Allah knows best. There comes a moment, unseen by the world of men, when the veil between life and the unseen is torn apart. When the breath leaves the chest and the soul is seized, the journey that every human denied or prepared for begins. Some ascend in peace toward gardens of light, and others descend, heavy with denial, drawn toward a fire that has awaited them since the dawn of creation. Malik, the keeper of the fire, does not move as these souls approach. He does not raise his wings nor lower his gaze. His silence fills the air, heavy as the weight of justice itself. Around him, the angels of punishment assemble, immense, unflinching, shaped from the same obedience that birthed Malik himself. The condemned are brought forth. Their forms are neither living nor dead, suspended between the ruin of what was and the truth of what is. They are bound not by chains of iron, but by their own deeds, which now appear as fetters upon their souls. The fire sees them. It knows them, for it was shaped according to their actions, its heat woven from the very arrogance that once lived in their hearts. Then, for the first time, the silence breaks, not by Malik, but by the cries of those who enter. Our Lord, we have seen and we have heard. Return us that we may do righteousness. Quran 32:12. But there is no return. The gates stand open, each one awaiting those destined to enter. Malik's wings unfold like 2 shadows of divine decree, and the fire roars in recognition of its purpose. He raises one hand, vast, radiant, absolute, and the command descends through ranks of angels beneath him. The souls are driven forward, not with anger, but with order. The fire does not lash in wildness. It receives each soul exactly as written. Every scream is measured. Every plea is recorded. Every moment unfolds by divine precision. From the first gate, the cries rise like wind through a canyon of flame. They call to Malik, "O Malik, let your Lord make an end of us." Quran 43:77. He does not answer. His face remains unbroken, for angels do not act except by command. And when he does speak, perhaps after 1,000 years, perhaps more, his voice echoes like thunder through eternity. Indeed, you will remain. Those words strike like stone into the heart of despair. And yet even they are mercy, for in that decree lies truth. The souls who enter the fire are not forgotten. They are not lost in chaos. They are fulfilling what was promised. The condemned look around them. The fire shaped not like a storm, but like a perfect mirror. Every sin they mocked, every injustice they committed, is now manifest. The tongue that lied becomes a serpent of flame. The hands that struck the innocent burn with what they wrought. The arrogance that blinded them becomes their own tormentor. Malik watches, silent as the will of Allah unfolds before him. The angels beneath him perform their duties without hesitation. Some draw the souls deeper into the layers of fire. Others record the measure of each punishment, ensuring nothing exceeds what has been decreed. Their chants echo between the walls of heat. Praise be to the Lord of justice and balance. The fire hums in response, its roar rhythmic, eternal, not random, not mindless, but alive with remembrance. Every flame utters Subhanallah. Every ember glorifies the one who decreed it. Malik's gaze shifts across the 7 gates. He sees the flow of the condemned as one sees rivers pouring into the sea. There is no triumph in his eyes, no hatred, no sorrow. Only stillness, only obedience. For Malik was not created to feel, he was created to guard. And guarding, for him, is worship. A soul calls out again, trembling. Was I not warned? Were the messengers not sent? The question fades into the heat. Malik does not answer, for the answer was given long ago. Upon the earth they once walked. The angels of torment respond in unison. Yes, the warning came to you, but you denied the truth. The condemned lower their heads, not in humility, but in the crushing weight of realization. Their disbelief, once bold and proud, now burns as the very flame that surrounds them. Malik closes his wings. The gates seal. The fire, satisfied, settles back into its hum of remembrance. Above, the heavens glow with light, the remembrance of Allah continuing unhindered. Below, the fire burns, not as a rival, but as part of the same divine harmony. For in the universe of Allah, nothing exists without wisdom. Even the cries of the condemned echo the perfection of his justice. Malik turns back toward the gate, his face illuminated by the fire that dances before him, like a living scripture. He whispers not a word, for words are not needed where decree is complete. He simply stands, as he always has, guardian of consequence, witness of justice, servant of the command. The fire breathes around him, eternal and obedient. And somewhere deep within its roar, a truth resounds, that even the cries of the condemned glorify the one who made them, and even punishment is bound in mercy, and Allah knows best. Time, as mankind knows it, ends. The sun collapses upon itself, the seas boil, the mountains are torn from their roots and drift like weightless clouds. The heavens once vast and calm fracture in silence, and through every layer of existence, a single truth begins to tremble. The day has arrived. For eons uncounted, Malik has stood in silence at the gate of hell. He has not moved. He has not spoken. Even the flames behind him, though eternal, have known his stillness as the measure of their own restraint. But now, as the cosmos folds upon itself, the fire awakens. It stirs like a beast, sensing the nearness of command, its breath rolling through the depths, waves of heat rising like tides through unseen worlds. The angels beneath Malik lift their wings, awaiting their orders. From beyond, the trumpet is raised, held by Israfil, the angel of the final hour. His breath has not yet escaped, but the creation itself bends in anticipation. Malik looks upward, not in curiosity, for angels do not wonder, but in recognition of the decree that even the fire has waited for. Above, the throne is surrounded by oceans of light. The angels of mercy and power form endless circles around it, their chants echoing through all realms. The day belongs to Allah, the One, the Subduer. Quran 40:16. From that command, destinies unravel, The souls rise from their graves, barefoot and trembling, their eyes wide as they behold the sky cracking open like the petals of judgment. Every heart that once denied now beats in terror. Every soul that believed stands in awe, and deep below, Malik's domain begins to stir. The fire hums in remembrance. Its layers pulse like the veins of creation, awaiting the moment when they will be called to testify. The angels of punishment stand in ranks, countless, vast, each holding a task decreed since before time began. Malik's wings unfold for the first time in what mortal minds would call eternity. The very air of hell trembles, even the fire bows dimming for a heartbeat, as if in submission to the one who guards it. Then, from beyond the veil of light, a command, silent, absolute, pierces through the depths of existence. Prepare the fire. It is not a voice heard with ears, but a command felt by every atom of creation. The heavens tremble, the earth splits, and the gates of Jahannam glow with the heat of awakening. Malik lowers his head, and his voice, the same that once spoke after Iblis's fall, resounds through the infernal halls. Obey the command of your Lord. At his words, the fire answers, not with rebellion but with praise. Its roar becomes remembrance, 1,000 tongues whispering, Subhanallah, Subhanallah. The angels beneath Malik begin their procession. Each gate is checked, each chamber aligned to its purpose. They do not rush, for haste does not exist in obedience. Every motion is exact, as written in the law that governs even the unseen. Above, in the realm of the living, mankind gathers upon the plane of resurrection. The sky burns crimson, the sun descends overhead, and every soul stands naked of possession and pride. The prophets are gathered, each calling, Myself, myself, until the beloved intercedes, the mercy to all worlds. But even mercy stands beside justice, and Malik, far below, continues his watch. He knows that soon, the fire will be commanded to witness what it was created for, not to rage without reason, but to manifest the perfection of divine order. The fire breathes heavier now. It hungers but not out of desire, for it was created without will. Its hunger is obedience itself. The condemned await their return, each soul drawn to the gate that matches its deeds. Their eyes plead for delay, their hearts shake with despair. But Malik's face remains still. He has no power to intercede, for his mercy is not his own. It belongs only to Allah. A moment passes, though it is no moment at all, and the divine decree echoes once more. And when hell is set ablaze, Quran 81:12, the command ripples through creation like the strike of 1,000 thunders. Malik's wings flare and every gate ignites. The fire expands in brilliance, its roar echoing through the unseen, as if the universe itself is inhaling one final time before judgment begins. The angels cry out in awe, Glory to you, O Lord of justice and mercy. None escapes your measure. Malik's silence returns. His eyes, fixed upon the vast horizon of flame, reflect both the terror and the beauty of obedience. For even now, in this hour of divine wrath, every ember burns in balance, not one exceeding its limit, not one dimming before its time. The universe has reached its reckoning, and the fire stands ready. Malik lowers his wings and awaits the next command, the one that will open the gates for the first time since Iblis's fall. His heart does not race, for angels do not feel fear. His hands do not tremble, for they are sustained by the will of the one who never tires. Above, the trumpet waits to be blown. Below, the fire hums in readiness, and Malik, the eternal sentinel, stands between the two. For on that day when all will cry, O Malik, let your Lord make an end of us, he will not speak until the Lord of Majesty decrees. And in that silence before the final command, the whole of creation will understand what Malik has known since the beginning, that even in the fire's awakening, there is no chaos. Only justice, only obedience, only Allah, and Allah knows best. The night was still over Al-Isra wal-Mi'raj, the sacred journey that no pen can fully capture. When the messenger of Allah ascended through the heavens, the veils of creation parted before him. Each realm shone with a different hue of light, some golden, some white as dawn, some trembling with awe of the throne. He met the angels of mercy and the keepers of paradise. He saw the rivers that flow beneath eternal gardens and the trees whose leaves whispered Subhanallah in voices of light. But as he rose beyond the seventh heaven, his heart, vast in its compassion, was shown what few eyes could bear, the realm of divine justice. Jibreel alayhi salam stood beside him, his 600 wings veiling vast horizons. But even the mightiest of angels lowered his gaze as the decree unfolded. Now, O Muhammad, said Jibreel, we stand before the gate of hell. The Prophet looked, and before him stretched a sight beyond comprehension. A gate larger than galaxies, darker than night, yet glowing with the fire of truth. The heat was so great that no human word could describe it. And behind it stood a being of light, motionless, immense, silent. Jibreel's wings trembled. He did not move forward. The Prophet, the bravest heart ever created, turned to him and asked gently, O Jibreel, who is this? And Jibreel said, with a voice that carried the weight of eternity, this is Malik, the keeper of the fire. Since the day he was created, he has never smiled. He has never looked away from his duty. And if he were to smile, O Messenger of Allah, it would be for you. The Prophet looked again. Malik stood unmoving, vast as the horizon, wings folded like veils of fire and light. His face bore no anger, no pride, no sorrow, only obedience. His eyes were like twin suns, yet void of warmth. His expression carried neither cruelty nor comfort, only the stillness of command. The fire behind him stirred, sensing the presence of the beloved. It roared, not in rebellion, but in recognition. For even the fire knew the mercy of Muhammad, whose prayer could extinguish mountains of sin. Malik lowered his gaze. For the first time since his creation, he moved. His wings shifted, folding back in reverence. And he bowed, not in worship, for angels worship none but Allah, but in acknowledgement of the one whom Allah had called Rahmatan lil Alameen, the mercy to all worlds. The Prophet saw then the balance of creation with perfect clarity. He saw the fire, obedient and alive, yearning for the command that would fulfill its purpose. He saw Malik, the sentinel of justice, whose silence itself was worship. And above all, he saw the mercy of his Lord, vast, immeasurable, surrounding even the gates of punishment. Tears filled his blessed eyes. He whispered, O Allah, save my ummah. And from the throne came a response, silent, unseen, but felt across the realms, my mercy has preceded my wrath. Hadith Qudsi. In that moment, the messenger understood the perfection of divine balance, that mercy and justice are not opposites, but mirrors of each other. That even hell was not created from cruelty, but from truth. That Malik's silence was not coldness, but obedience to a command too sacred for words. Jibreel spoke softly beside him. O Muhammad, if you had seen what I have seen, the gates of the fire, the torment it holds, you would weep much and laugh little. The Prophet turned his radiant face toward Malik one final time. And though the keeper did not smile, the fire dimmed in reverence, its roar softening to a low hum, as though the creation itself bowed before the mercy that stood before it. The messenger then ascended again, higher and higher, until he came before the lote tree of the utmost boundary, the Sidrat al-Muntaha, where even Jibreel could not follow. There he heard what no ear had heard, saw what no eye had seen. But the image of Malik, silent, unwavering, devoted, remained with him. For he had witnessed the embodiment of justice, standing guard beneath the infinite mercy of his Lord. When he returned to the world below, his companions saw in his eyes a depth that no mortal could fathom. He spoke of gardens and rivers of mercy and light, but he also spoke of the fire and the keeper who never smiled. And he wept, not for himself, but for his people. That none should ever see what he had seen. He said, if you knew what I know, you would laugh little and weep much. Sahih al-Bukhari. To this day, Malik's silence endures. He has not smiled. He has not looked away. He waits still, wings folded, eyes fixed upon the command that will one day open the gates once more. And somewhere, in the unseen, the fire hums in remembrance of the one who walked past it without fear, the one whose mercy once stilled its flames. for even hell remembers him. And even Malik, the angel of silence, stands in awe of his light, and Allah knows best. Every story written upon the canvas of creation, every rise and fall of nations, every whisper of repentance, every act of defiance, moves between two oceans, fear and hope. They are not enemies but wings. Without one, the soul cannot fly. Above the heavens, the angels of light chant the names of the most merciful. Below the earth, Malik stands in silence before the fire, guarding the gates of divine consequence. And between these two realms, mercy and judgment, walks mankind, fragile and forgetful, yet honored with choice. For the believer, the mention of hell is not cruelty. It is mercy disguised in warning. The Quran calls it again and again, not to terrify the hearts, but to awaken them. Fear the fire whose fuel is men and stones, prepared for the disbelievers. Quran 2:24. To hear this is not to despair, but to remember, because within every warning lies an invitation. Return before it is too late. When Malik stands before the fire, unmoving and eternal, his silence speaks louder than any voice. It says obedience is peace. It says justice is not cruelty. It says mercy is always offered first. In his stillness, there is a reflection for mankind, that fear of Allah is not terror, but reverence. That hope in his mercy is not presumption, but faith. For Allah is the one who said, "Inform my servants that I am the forgiving, the merciful, and that my punishment is the painful punishment." Quran 15:49-50. Two truths side by side. Not to conflict, but to complete. Malik knows this balance better than any creature in existence. He has never disobeyed, never turned away, never spoken without command. He guards the fire, yet even the fire glorifies its creator. Every ember praises Allah. Every scream echoes his decree. And so, when man remembers the fire, he must remember too the one who created it, not as vengeance, but as justice. For every tyrant who escaped judgment on earth, there is a gate awaiting him. For every oppressed soul who was silenced, there is a day of reckoning when truth will speak. But the believer does not live in terror of Malik's gate. He lives in awe of the Lord who appointed it. When the Prophet saw Malik and the fire, his heart was filled not with dread, but with compassion. He wept for his ummah, saying, "O Allah, save my people." He did not despair, and neither should we. For if the fire is real, then so too is paradise. If Malik stands by the gates of justice, then Ridwan, the angel of paradise, stands by the gates of mercy, calling those who believed. Between them lies the test of every soul. Will you live fearing Allah or forgetting Him? The righteous tremble when the verses of hell are recited, but not from hopelessness. Their fear is the seed of safety. Their tears are the water of forgiveness. For the one who fears Allah in this world will find safety in the next, and the one who forgets will find remembrance in flame. Malik's silence teaches a lesson louder than sermons, that obedience is the shield of the soul. He guards not only the fire, but the meaning of consequence itself. A scholar once said, "If Allah revealed all His mercy, even the fire would cool. If He revealed all His justice, even the heavens would shake. But He reveals both, perfectly measured, perfectly balanced." And so the believer walks between fear and hope, knowing that Allah forgives as often as He warns, and warns only so that He may forgive. When Malik watches the condemned cry, and when Ridwan watches the faithful enter gardens beneath which rivers flow, both are fulfilling the same command, to guard the boundaries of truth. Malik's silence and Ridwan's smile are reflections of the same perfection, that every soul will find exactly what it earned. The Prophet once said, if the believer knew the extent of Allah's punishment, he would not feel safe from His fire. And if the disbeliever knew the extent of Allah's mercy, he would never despair of His paradise. Sahih Muslim. This is the path between fear and hope, to tremble at the warning, to yearn for forgiveness, and to live every moment aware of the unseen. Malik's wings still shadow the gates of hell. The fire still hums in obedience, And mankind still walks the thin path between the two oceans, where every prayer, every tear, every act of kindness tilts the scale. The wise know that fear without hope leads to despair, and hope without fear leads to heedlessness, but together they lead to paradise. For the same Lord who created the fire also said, "My mercy encompasses all things." Quran 7:156. So the believer remembers Malik not to tremble, but to awaken, to live each day aware of the unseen, humble before the mercy that still calls his name. For even the gate of hell is a sign, not of cruelty, but of the consequence of forgetting the most merciful. Between fear and hope, the heart finds balance. And in that balance lies salvation, and Allah knows best. The universe no longer breathes. The stars have burned out. Their light hangs like dust across the void. The seas have dried, the mountains have become shadows, and the heavens, once endless, lie folded like a scroll. And before the throne of majesty, all creation stands, prophets and tyrants, kings and beggars, the righteous and the rebellious, all gathered upon a plain so vast that none can see its edge. There is no sound but the beating of hearts, and even that trembles beneath the weight of what is to come. For this is the day of the final command, the day when every soul shall know what it has earned, when the truth that was unseen becomes all that remains. The angels stand in ranks, stretching beyond sight. Jibril, Israfil, Mikael, and Malik, each at his post, each awaiting only one thing, the word, above them. The throne radiates with light beyond imagination, not the light of the sun nor of stars, but of power itself. And the fire, vast and ancient, hums in readiness. Its 7 gates blaze in perfect symmetry, awaiting the decree of the one who made them. Malik stands before them, unmoving. His wings are unfolded now, the same wings that once shadowed the depths of hell, vast as galaxies, shimmering with the reflection of the fire he guards. He has stood since the beginning. Through the creation of the heavens, through the fall of Iblis, through the cries of the condemned, through every generation of mankind. But now, his watch nears its end. Then, a silence unlike any before. The kind that erases all thought, all motion. Even the fire stills, and from beyond the veil of light comes the voice, not heard with ears, but felt in the core of every atom. To whom belongs the dominion this day? The question echoes across eternity. No one answers. None can. Then the voice replies, "It belongs to Allah, the One, the Subduer." Quran 40:16. The angels bow. The heavens tremble, and Malik lowers his gaze, his silence now filled with awe. The judgments unfold one by one. Scrolls are opened. Deeds weighed. Every secret made known. The righteous are cloaked in light, their faces radiant, their books given in their right hands. The deniers bow in regret, their tongues unable to form excuses. And the fire, patient for millennia, breathes softly as it awaits its portion. The command descends. Separate them this day, O Malik. Without a word, Malik raises his hand. The gates respond, one by one, opening with a sound like the breaking of worlds. The fire awakens fully, its roar shaking the unseen. Yet it doesn't exceed its limit. Each soul is drawn to the gate it has earned, not by force, but by the weight of its own deeds, the arrogant to Al-Hawiyah, the liars to Al-Hutama, the heedless to Sakar. Each flame receives what it was written to consume. Malik oversees it all, neither proud nor mournful. For in his silence there is peace, the peace of perfect submission. Then, as the last soul enters and the gates begin to close, a light brighter than the fire itself fills the horizon. It is the mercy of Allah, extending even now to whom He wills. Some are lifted out, purified, forgiven, reborn into gardens where rivers flow. The fire cools where His mercy touches. The condemned weep, not from pain now, but from realization. Malik watches in reverence. He understands. Even hell bows before mercy. The command comes again. O Malik, seal the fire until the appointed eternity, and let every soul find what it has sown. Malik bows, his wings folding in solemn obedience. The fire hums its final remembrance as the gates close one by one, their light dimming into a glow that never dies. And when the seventh gate shuts, the universe exhales for the last time. Malik turns toward the throne, his duty complete. The one who has never smiled, never looked away, never disobeyed, stands still in the glow of divine satisfaction. He has seen every secret of justice and every shadow of sin, yet his heart is untouched by pride. For Malik was never the master of hell, only its keeper. And the keeper has fulfilled his command. Above, the heavens open to a brilliance beyond light, and the voice declares, "O my servants who believed and feared me, enter my paradise. You shall have no fear, nor shall you grieve." Quran 7:49. The fire grows silent. Paradise sings, and Malik lowers his gaze once more, returning to his station, no longer to guard in vigilance, but in remembrance, for his watch has not ended. It has simply entered stillness. In that final stillness lies the truth of all creation, that mercy and justice are not two forces, but one, balanced perfectly by the one who decreed them both. And the keeper of the fire, who never spoke beyond command, remains a witness to the perfection of that decree, that even wrath was born of mercy, and even punishment ends in peace, and Allah knows best. The universe has fallen silent. The gates of hell are sealed, the fire subdued in remembrance, and the keepers return to their stations, calm, obedient, eternal. The reckoning is complete. The scrolls have been folded. The souls have found their destinations, some in gardens beneath which rivers flow, others in chambers that reflect the truth of their own deeds. And now, only one truth fills the heavens and the unseen. The wisdom of Allah has been made known. For ages, creation had feared the fire, and many asked, why? Why would a Lord of mercy create a place of such wrath? Why would an ocean of flame exist beneath a sky filled with light? The answer, though vast as eternity, was always there, hidden in the shadow of divine wisdom. When Malik first stood before the fire, he did not ask why. For angels do not question the one who commands them, but in his silence, in his stillness, he bore witness to the greatest truth of all. That mercy without justice would be injustice, and justice without mercy would be cruelty. The fire was created not as vengeance, but as balance. It is the shadow cast by light, the echo of consequence, the mirror that reflects what mankind sends forth. Without it, the meaning of obedience would vanish, and the gift of choice would lose its weight. Malik has seen the wisdom unfold, not through words, but through eternity itself. He has watched as arrogant souls descended and then rose again through mercy. He has seen the fire cool for those whom Allah willed to forgive. He has heard the screams that turned to Subhanallah, the despair that became surrender. Even in punishment, he has seen remembrance. Even in wrath, he has seen mercy. He knows now what few among creation truly grasp, that hell is not the absence of God's mercy. It is the place where mercy is withheld but never destroyed. From the beginning, the throne decreed, "My mercy encompasses all things." Quran 7:156. And so even the fire was created by mercy, through mercy, and for mercy. For every human who fears it, thousands turn back to Allah. For every verse that describes it, hearts awaken. For every warning, repentance blooms. If the fire did not exist, heedlessness would reign. If Malik did not stand guard, mankind would forget that choices echo beyond death. Thus, the very existence of hell keeps faith alive. Malik stands still, his gaze upon the horizon of flame now calm. For the first time since creation, the fire rests, humming softly, like a servant content with its purpose fulfilled. It glorifies its Lord, whispering through waves of heat, "Subhanaka ya Rabb, Subhanaka ya Rabb." The angels who serve beneath Malik return to their stations. Their wings fold in perfect symmetry, their hearts tranquil. They have carried out the decree, not with anger, but with reverence. Above them, paradise overflows with joy. Below, the fire remains silent, its purpose complete. And between them, Malik stands as the living boundary between fear and mercy, a monument to divine balance. Now, in the stillness of eternity, the wisdom becomes clear to all creation. The prophets gaze upon the unfolding truth and glorify their Lord. The martyrs and the righteous stand in awe, understanding what they once only believed. Even the condemned now know they were never wronged. The punishment they bear is not cruelty but consequence, and in that recognition, the majesty of divine justice shines brighter than the light of the throne, for Allah's wisdom cannot be measured in human thought. What the mind calls suffering, the soul may call purification. What the heart fears as wrath, the universe knows as balance. What the world sees as an end is often the beginning of truth. And Malik, silent, unwavering Malik, has been the witness of this balance since time itself began. He has never smiled, for laughter belongs to those who live in hope. But if he were to smile, it would be at the perfection of Allah's command, the realization that nothing, not even flame, exists without meaning. So when the believers read of hell in the Quran, they do not see only fire. They see the justice of the one who never forgets, the mercy of the one who never fails, and the promise that every deed, seen or unseen, will be brought to light. Hell was never meant to extinguish hope. It was meant to preserve it, to remind mankind that the door to mercy remains open until the final breath, and that the one who warns is the same one who forgives. Malik turns from the fire and lifts his gaze toward the throne. His wings, once still, rise in silent reverence. He has seen the full circle of creation, from command to fulfillment, from wrath to peace, from question to understanding. He whispers, not aloud, but within the rhythm of the unseen, "Glory be to you, O Lord of power and wisdom. None can grasp your decree but those whom you allow." And the fire, hearing its keeper's remembrance, glows softly in response. For now, all creation knows. Even the shadow of his justice carries the light of his mercy, and Allah knows best. The end of all things does not come with thunder, nor with flame, but with silence. After the last command is carried out, after the scrolls are closed and the pens have ceased to write, a stillness settles upon creation so deep that even the angels lower their wings in awe. The heavens, once filled with light and sound, grow quiet. The earth no longer trembles. The fire, that ancient servant of justice, no longer roars. And Malik, the eternal sentinel, stands alone before the gate. For the first time since the dawn of existence, the fire does not move. It burns without sound, like a memory of what once was. Its colors no longer flare. Its flames no longer reach. It waits, as it always has, but now, not for command, only for peace. The final hour has passed. Judgment has been decreed. The dwellers of paradise rejoice beneath rivers of light, their laughter echoing through the gardens of eternity. The dwellers of the fire have found their portion, some purified, some sealed forever. Their cries now faded into whispers of remembrance, and Malik, keeper of consequence, remains, wings folded, gaze lowered. A pillar of light before a sea of extinguished flame. He is the last to speak. He is the last to move. He is the last to stand. When the command of his Lord comes, the final command, it does not shake the universe as it once did. It arrives in silence, more powerful than thunder, more eternal than sound. O Malik, the decree flows through the unseen. Guard what remains, until guarding is no longer needed. Malik bows his head. His wings unfold once more, vast and radiant, each feather reflecting the fire that no longer rages behind him. He raises his hand and the gates, 7 in all, close for the last time. Each closes not with violence, but with peace. Each lock clicks into place like the heartbeat of creation slowing to rest. With every gate sealed, a part of the universe exhales. When the 7th gate falls silent, time itself ceases to count. The fire, the same that once roared with punishment, begins to hum softly, a low chant of remembrance. Its voice, once fearsome, now gentle, repeats the words that all creation knows, Subhanaka ya Rabb. Glory be to you, O Lord of power and mercy. The angels of punishment bow before their Lord. Their tasks are complete, their vigilance fulfilled. They turn their faces upward, their hearts flooded with light. For even they, the keepers of flame, have been instruments of mercy all along. Malik stands among them, taller than all, his face unmoving, his eyes reflecting the glow of divine perfection. He feels no pride, no grief, no fatigue, for these belong to those who doubt. What fills him now is the purest peace, the tranquility of completion. From beyond the veil, the call of paradise echoes across eternity. The dwellers of the garden hear it and fall in prostration, glorifying the one who saved them. The fire, though silent, joins the remembrance in its own way, a soundless vibration through the unseen. There is no conflict between the two realms now, no hatred between flame and light, for both were born of the same decree. Both have served their purpose. Both have fulfilled their command. The universe has found balance. Malik gazes one last time upon the gate he has guarded since before time began. He sees in its stillness the story of all creation, of arrogance and humility, of rebellion and repentance, of fear and hope, of punishment and mercy. He understands that every ember was written, every tear was known, every soul was measured. Nothing was lost. Nothing was random. He lowers his wings. The fire dims further, until it becomes as soft as starlight, and Malik speaks, not to the fire, not to the angels, not even to himself, but in remembrance of the one who never sleeps nor forgets. All praise is for Allah, the most just, the most merciful. The command has been fulfilled. The truth has been revealed, and you remain when all else perishes. A wind passes through the unseen, not the wind of air, but of divine motion, carrying the remembrance of the fire across the realms. The angels hear it and respond, Subhanallah, Subhanallah. In paradise, the believers raise their heads, their hearts filled with joy. In the depths, the fire bows lower still. And Malik, the angel who never smiled, who never turned, who never slept, closes his eyes for the first time in peace. He does not vanish, for angels do not die. But he enters stillness, a state of perfect remembrance, his being a prayer, his silence an eternal tasbih. The gates no longer burn, the flames no longer devour, and the guardian who once stood between wrath and mercy now stands within mercy itself. There will be no new command, no new dawn. Only Allah, eternal, unchanging, alone. His wisdom has been fulfilled, His promise kept, His mercy triumphant. And so the story ends, not in fire, not in despair, but in silence, in peace, in the remembrance that outlives creation itself. And Allah knows best.